are talking about this interstellar object that's on its way to Earth. A lot of people are comparing it to Muamua, one of the two other objects that were detected on a trajectory into our solar system. A lot of people are saying, nah, don't worry about it, just a comet, no big deal. But there are some Harvard astrophysicists that are saying otherwise. They're saying that it possibly could be an alien spaceship. Like, are they talking Starship Enterprise? I have no clue what they're talking about. I actually do, because I read the paper. We all read the paper, and we're gonna go over it with a fine-tooth comb today. We're gonna literally squeeze all the juice out of this, get all the nectar, put it all over our face, and chant to God in this holy sacrifice that we're doing this morning. Happy Sunday, everybody. Who is Avi Loeb? What's his background? What are these conjectures? What is half the terminology that's in the scientific paper? I loved reading it because, I have a little bit of a science background myself, and it brought me right back to college. It actually stimulated the old debate that was actually making scientific papers, and you might see a couple coming from Planetary HQ soon. But I've been seeing this in the headlines, and I don't know what to make of it. The paper is very compelling, but everything that comes from the government is a big nothing burger. It almost seems like everything's a distraction, but you don't want to be like, oh, it's a complete distraction and miss out on the fact that it is an alien spaceship coming to Earth, because that would be dope. They dropped Three Body Problem not too long ago on Netflix. Was that predictive programming? We got the tinfoil hat today, guys, and we're gonna go deep into it. You know me, debate the wise. We're at the planetary headquarters. Planetary HQ, the source for all of your celestial information. I'm joined by my brother, Magmaslav, Tate Chilla, you already know them, regulars, co-hosts, brothers on the channel, and we are joined by a special guest. We have a celestial artisan in the building, everybody. Put your hands together for our brother, Nebby. Nebby of Nebadon. He is of Nebadon, so I don't know where he derived that name from, but we'll let him describe himself right now. We have some. We'll actually give the people a little bit of something. What did you just drop right here?
Well, I had spent so much time on this album, just coming up with ideas, recording tracks with a bunch of other people. Like it originally looked so different, but it's finally here. I dropped it about a week ago. Very happy with the reception it's gotten so far from people who've actually listened to it. I spent a good amount of time working on this. It's a very versatile record, I would say, a bunch of different genres.
Yeah.
It's not limited to just one sound in particular. It's just me kind of experimenting with, a bunch of different genres like pop, like EDM, hip hop,
Dude,
a
it's
little bit
thick.
of rock.
I've been
Yeah,
bumping it for a minute at work on the way home. I'm like, okay, Nevi, you gave me a
okay.
little sample of one track a couple of weeks ago, like months ago, and I was like, oh, that was sick. And then you gave me the rest, and I was like, damn, this
Okay.
nigga got
Yeah.
fucking soul. He
Yeah.
could fucking rap,
I,
he could sing, he could do it
I
all.
try. I try. Like I think making music is such a like pure form of expression, since it's like there's the only thing that's guiding you is just pure sound. So you're sculpting with like sound waves, and you're creating like a symphony, basically, mini
Amen.
symphony. And there's so much technicality that goes to it, like whether it's technical or just compositional, and just even when it comes down to just songwriting, like coming up with lyrics. But it's so satisfying to come up with like a bunch of tracks that you're able to release and share with others, Even though it took me a long time to do it. It took me a long time to do it. Like muster up the courage to want to actually put it out there. But I felt like it was worthwhile, And it feels good to be able to share that part of me to other people.
Yeah, that's dope. And I like how you're talking about the concept of music, and we're all a song, and that's what the universe actually means. The universe, one song. We're all one
Yes.
song.
Yes.
And you're we talk about triosophy, you having a mind body spirit complex. And like if you can think of 3 points on a graph, depending on your unique soul blueprint, your unique song, I believe everybody is a note, a tone in the universe. And when we mix
Yes.
our tones, we make that beautiful song. but some people choose to express their tone more. Some people choose not to. It's okay. We're all along the journey trying to figure out how to express it the best way.
That comes also with, people notes who are in harmony to the universe, also dissonant to the universe, and they're out of frequency. It applies.
Discord. But I do want to jump into one of these harmonic tones that poured forth from your soul, if we could. We got a track queued up here. We want to kind of get into the tune, and then we're going to jump right into this Harvard PhD paper about 3-eye Atlas. Is it alien technology? But before I go visit the aliens on this obscure comet, I do need to get in the groove. So imagine, close your eyes. We're in the TR-3B right now, about to visit the comet. And I'm like, what do you guys want to hear? We're gonna put on Tachila, you the DJ. He's like, I got something for you guys.
I got it. Y'all ready for this? Here we go.
Ready, yes, sir.
The mirror never talks. I never know just what it wants. My eyes, they're lying. The mirror never talks. I never know just what it wants. My eyes, they're lying. The mirror never talks. I never know just what it wants. These scars, they're hiding. I wish I would have known that with these scars I would be home. It hurts, I'm trying. I wish I would have known that without scars I would be gone. I know it hurts. I wish I would have known that my reflections are wrong. Your eyes, they're lying. And now I wanna know just how much long it's gonna take for me to love myself today. You're trying. Yo, your body is beautiful. Every scar is a testament of your inner power and your inner strength. Cause the world is ours, what does you expect? I know you feel down, but toss away that drink. Or maybe not, I'm not one to say. But pay attention, maybe then you'll see that these scars have made me who I wanna be. The mirror never talks, I never know just what it wants. My eyes, they're lying. The mirror never talks, I never know just what it wants. These scars, they're hiding. Just say, you gotta love yourself. Ain't nobody gonna love you back.
Hey. Unmute yourself, guys. Sick track.
Woo!
That was a banger.
Appreciate it.
That is one I could listen to over and over.
Nice.
Good stuff.
Nice.
I couldn't hear it. I was listening to it through the live stream. It's still playing.
me
From
too.
oh, there it is.
That's why I referenced it. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
damn,
for the
yeah.
first like 20 seconds, I was like, "What the fuck? You didn't hear me?" Oh, you probably couldn't hear us because the music was in your ear.
I shared my screen and I shared my stream out. Oh, it wasn't shared. That's weird. It was turned on when
No.
okay.
We
My
could
bad.
hear it on the live stream.
Got it.
Yeah. But that was tight. I listened on the live stream. I was bumping. I don't know about you guys at home, but they're lying.
I was wondering, D-Bag, I was wondering why you
Hard,
kept
dog.
dancing like after I had stopped the music because it's the stream lag. Next time I'll just send my audio through Discord so y'all get it without having to watch a stream.
Yeah.
I might even set that up.
Residual groove.
Yeah.
But
the song has a lasting effect.
that was hot.
Stop dancing.
No, that was hot.
Yeah,
That got me ready.
Can I ask y'all a question?
Yeah. What?
What do you guys think the song's about?
Not liking your appearance in a mirror.
Yes, like not being happy with yourself.
Exactly. Yeah. It's obvious. I mean, if you listen to the lyrics.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. But then you're saying like my eyes are lying,
Yeah.
like it ain't the mirror and shit. It's cool. It's a cool play on concepts. Come on, nigga, that shit hard. Yeah.
Yeah. Appreciate it, dog.
Yeah, hell yeah, dude. Now I'm fucking turned up for this interstellar object, 3-eye Atlas. Heck yeah, dude. So these Harvard astrophysicists dropped besides that, man, Nebby just dropped some fire. I hope you guys go and check that out. The link is in the description. Go share it. Go put it on your playlist because I'm still playing it in my head right now. Interstellar Object 3I Atlas. Is it alien technology? I guess if we could throw that link in the chat for the people if they want to see it, but we're sharing it. You're probably sharing it for
I
people.
got it.
Written by Adam Hibbard, Adam Crowell, and Abraham Loeb. Okay, so that's Avi's real name, Abraham Loeb. So this is mostly being pushed by the famous Avi Loeb. He's been everywhere. Pretty sure he's been on Rogan. He's been on all the big news media circuits. He's a well-known astrophysicist, like a household name. But let's see, who is Avi Loeb? I'm looking it up right now so that we give you all the information. Okay. He is a theoretical physicist and astrophysicist. He is, interesting to note, of Israeli and American citizenship. Interesting. A lot of people in government, I think they have the most people who have dual citizenship in government. And that'll be a connection later because Harvard has a serious ties with the intelligence agencies. And he's directly out of Harvard. But okay, so Avi Loeb, astrophysicist, theoretical physicist, Israeli American citizen, Department of Astronomy from 2011 to 2020, founded the Black Hole Initiative in 2016. That's where a lot of these programs get their funding from. You'll see a lot of modern papers get funded and modern projects being funded by the Black Hole Initiative. It might be a funnel for like Department of Defense money into the private sector to support scientific endeavors. So he's the one, he published popular science books, Extraterrestrial, The First Sign of Intelligent Life Beyond Earth in 2021, and Interstellar, The Search for Extraterrestrial Life and Our Future in the Stars. And there's a picture of him with his hands over the globe, going all crazy. I mean, I'm not sharing my screen, but that's just off Wikipedia. I do want to address the entire, there is an angle that Corbell has been talking about, Greer has been talking about, a lot of people saying that the Defense Department and the intel agencies are going to spin anything in the narrative of an alien threat in order to, kind of muster fear in the population. I do want everybody to be aware of that technique and that tactic. That is a very real psychological tactic or psychological operation. We're not saying that this is exactly what it is. We're here at our channel. We put as many data points as we can on the table, and then we want you to synthesize all the information. So we're going to go both sides, positive and negative. But yeah, that's one angle. I am very wary of that angle. Anytime someone's talking about the Space Brothers as being a threat, it rubs me the wrong way because we consider them positive Space Brothers, like the entrance into the Galactic Federation. I think that's more of a possibility than them attacking us by a long shot. And one way the government knows the aliens are way more advanced. The extraterrestrials, the angels, whatever you want to call them, the Space Brothers. There are distinctions, but we're not getting into that right now. The Space Brothers, the government knows they're way more advanced than the government is. And they know they're benevolent. And they know that if they decided to show up, all the humans would be like, oh, wow, these guys are awesome. These are the angels from the Bible and stuff. We'd join with open arms. That's what the government's scared of, because then they would lose power. And then we'd all say, wait, the government knew about this and they've been lying to us about it for 80, 100 years. And they've been calling us crazy for even thinking it's true. That's the last thing the government wants. That's the worst case scenario where they lose the entire trust of the people and the people turn on them. So how do you make sure the people won't turn on you and go to the aliens? You convince them the aliens are bad guys, right? So the people themselves fight the aliens and they prevent this integration. Think of Independence Day. Think of all this kind of media three-body problem that is getting pushed out into the social mainstream pop culture ideology. But you never really ever see media that's swayed on the other side where they're benevolent, do you? Not really. It's almost like it's overswayed on one side. It's really weird. It almost seems like there's like somebody behind the scenes. I mean, you could always say the aliens attacking is a hot threat, and it sells tickets, it puts butts in seats. You know.
I can think
You
of
got some,
one.
Nebby?
Yeah, sorry. I can think of
Nah,
one
what's up?
series that they are painted in two series where they're painted.
Yeah, there's
in
a couple.
like Star Wars or Star Trek.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a good one. Very good ones. Star Wars, Star Trek, E.T., E.T. the extraterrestrial. He was a good one. You know, so they're not
E.T.,
all negative,
Like
but you
you're
know, it's
talking about
just,
I agree with you.
the modern news about UAP stuff and this new sort of this opening up that we're allowed to talk about this now. Whenever they talk about it, there's often that threat angle, and it's also partly because all this or a lot of info is coming from like our Air Force or DoD, like trickling down. These
Yep.
videos are from military systems. So when the military makes their comments on it, you know, it's always with that national security threat ID manifesto behind it.
Yeah, I had read through Luis Elizondo's book, Imminent. It was still a really good book. I'd recommend it, but it covers his fight for disclosure, and the stigma he faced in the government, working for the Pentagon. But um, basically, the whole gist of the book is that there is an alien threat that we need to be prepared for. And it is funny you mentioned that about movies. Just last night, I took my lady to see the Fantastic Four movie. I saw it for the second
yeah.
time. It's a
I was
really
gonna
good
say we
movie.
went to go see that together.
But we did. But you think about it, Galactus is an alien threat. It's this whole perceived
It's the
fear
exact
of
same thing every time.
something from outer space is going to consume your planet.
It's since the first Avengers, man, right?
New alien series coming out.
True. Maybe it's not the government's fault. Maybe it's Marvel's fault.
Plot twist:
I think
Marvel is the CIA.
it says a little bit more about the innate fear of humans, because it's like when we make our fantasies, it's like
Yeah.
a lot of them are chock full of this like alien invasion concept, because we like that like good guy versus bad guy, you know, thing.
You're
And
right.
we like humans, the human hero story as well. So, you know, there's a part of it, I think there's I guess an innate psychology where people almost want that, they almost want it to be like that, because there's so much war and
Yeah.
fighting on Earth that they're used to it. But what happens if the natural idea and theorem switches, where people actually want the aliens to be good, to be space brothers, to be bringing galactic federation to Earth?
I mean, that's the ideal situation people would want, right? That they're good and they're not like us, where whenever we go on expeditions, we end up just pillaging and enslaving whoever happens to live there and taking over their entire operation. You know, I understand why people like Stephen Hawking. He said that once. He said that if aliens were real, they would probably try to conquer us. But he's only
Yeah.
using other humans as reference. He's not really using the framework of a much higher advanced spiritual, who also takes into the account, because you know Stephen Hawking was an atheist. It's very hard for an atheist to understand that spirituality is a factor of life,
Yeah. Yeah.
whether you want to acknowledge it or not. You know, people have emotions, people can express themselves, people can influence with their free will. Like there's a multiple amount of reasons why spirituality is a thing, and that like morality, and you know, it's hard for people like us, like a species like us, to imagine someone not being like us, because we're the top here. We're the top. We run things here. You know what I mean? So
Yeah, that's a good point. It's a good angle. I think they're going to get into that in a little bit in the paper. So really quickly, from all three of you guys, I want to know what you believe this thing is. What's your ideal circumstance? Like, give me what you want to believe, or give me what you believe for real. Just holla at me from the top down, Magma. What do you think?
All right. To be entirely honest,
Quickly though.
I think it's a giant comet. I think it's a giant rock hurtling through space,
One
but
for Comet.
celestial beings could be redirecting it to avoid catastrophe.
Oh, hot take, hot take. Okay, Nebby.
well, I'll be honest. Assuming that these highly advanced beings are real and that they're around our planet, this would be one way of bringing into attention that they're among us. But I also feel like I am a bit skeptical because it's coming from those we usually don't trust about the subject.
Mm.
So I'm wondering what I'm looking forward to reading with you guys the paper itself, the research paper, because I want to know what influenced them to conclude that this could be extraterrestrial and not just a comet. Like, I wonder what exactly it is that made them land on that conclusion. Because otherwise, I don't know if I should trust it. Because
All right. So what do you think, though? Real quick.
what do I think?
Yeah, personally.
I think it's possible that it could be what they're claiming it is. I just wonder what it is that it did that made them actually believe it. Because this is, what they're saying is extraordinary. So I wonder what it is that they finally, like, what kind of data they have. Maybe it maneuvered in a way that is unnatural for a regular comet to move. Maybe it went like through a different trajectory. Because in that case,
Yeah, we're gonna get into all that.
that might not be a comet. And also, if these beings are real, they probably have the ability to disguise themselves to be whatever they want to look like. Like, they could, if they have the capacity of traveling through the stars and coming to a planet like ours, their level of tech, it must be incomprehensible to us. It must be like, whoa. And not just that, their way of living too. Just
Yeah, these are all good questions. Taylor, what do you think?
Yeah, I think the scientists are pitching this as what they call like a think tank exercise. But the most convincing argument I heard recently that helped me understand, like, oh, maybe there are aliens inside, is that I've heard that primitive civilizations who are interstellar, who want a really big craft, actually go to a comet and they hollow it out. And then they build their spaceship inside of it, and they put thrusters on the back. And now they have like a free haul to their spaceship that they didn't have to build, which is the comet, the rock, which helps protect, from space radiation, etc. And then they also have like a clandestine object that is not really suspected by other planets to be a ship. However, it's interesting, in this case, if this is what's happening, what we're measuring is the I guess the trajectory, and we're like, the trajectory is weird. It's very precise. So I think that if it is an alien spaceship, then that would be the case. What I described, that whole comet, a civilization hollowed out a comet, and that's what they're using. Or I'm like, not, or the telescope can't like see good enough to even know if it's a comet. Like, maybe what if it's just a cylinder, but our telescope isn't high res enough to know, like, does it actually look like a comet, like a rock face? Like, maybe just because it's so far away, like, it actually is a metal cylinder, we just can't tell yet. So that's kind of where I'm at so far, and I'm interested to see what kind of photos we have.
Nice. I like that angle. Hollowed out comet, dude, that's hard. Like it. I am leaning towards positive alien biosatellite mothership that's going to come teach us the way and establish the Galactic Federation, but they want us to think it's an alien threat. So let's get into the paper. Is the interstellar object 3I Atlas alien technology? Here's the abstract. At this early stage of its passage through our solar system, 3I Atlas, the recently discovered interstellar interloper, an interloper, has displayed various anomalous characteristics determined from photometric and astrometric observations. As largely a pedagogical exercise, in this paper, we present additional analysis into the astrodynamics of 3I Atlas and hypothesize that this object could be technological and possibly hostile, as would be expected from the dark forest resolution to the Fermi paradox. Okay, a lot to unpack right there. Made me look up some words when I was reading this. I was like, okay, what is pedagogical? What is that? I guess that actually refers to the theory and practice of teaching. So, like, I guess, like exercises on how to teach, or it could be like a possible fake scenario to see how we would address the problem if it were to be that. It's a very unique way of saying it. I already see CIA talk all over it. No, I'm kidding. But so it's a pedagogical exercise. So he states in the beginning.
Okay.
And then he talks about what's to be expected from the dark forest resolution to the Fermi paradox. Are you guys familiar with the Fermi paradox?
The calculation, like of the chance of life, right?
I think it's paradox.
I think it's if there's so much life, or if there is intelligent life in the universe, why have we not made communication with them yet? And there's like a couple different reasons why we haven't yet, because either they're so far away, or they were born billions of years in the past, so that we just didn't match up in timelines. We missed them. You know, they like their entire civilization grew and fell way before we even became. Like, there's a bunch of different reasons why. Did any of you guys look it up yet? No.
I just did a
I know,
chat GPT.
I've heard of it.
Yeah, that's basically the gist of it. From my understanding, it's just why haven't we encountered life yet?
Why haven't we? Okay. Yep.
Prime directive.
So look at that. Didn't even look it up. Debate on fucking point.
I guess I guess first question is like, what makes Fermi think we haven't encountered alien life? I think he's coming from like, why in the modern 21st century?
Enrico Fermi.
Why in the modern 21st century is like the evidence like so unclear? Because I'm sure, he knows, there's some people that claim aliens are here. But I guess there is still the question of, how is this not a universal fact that is not really up for argumentation? And that's the type of evidence that people are looking for. And I like some of the I guess possibilities that it's kind of talking here is they're either rare or non-existent. They're out there, but we can't detect them. They're here, but hidden. And I think that last one is probably the most accurate, here, but hidden. And for my personal, position is that they're not only hiding themselves, but the people who know about them on Earth, the governments, the militaries, they're also hiding that fact because it's not something that they can control. And society requires stability, and instability is when you let people know that you're not in control.
Yep. Yeah. So we're kind of under this illusion here of who's really in control. And that's very likely a big reason why there's such an effort to make this secret. Because they definitely know, and they're playing games with us. I don't like the way the disclosure process has been happening so far. It's just nothing. They're just wasting time.
Yeah.
D-Bake, you got this video for us?
Guys. Yes, sir. I got a video for you guys that will kind of explain what it is. I'm pretty sure you guys should be able to hear it.
It looks like your volume's a little low on YouTube.
On YouTube, yeah, I got you. Let's see.
There we go. We're good.
For the people. Alrighty. So this is a little bit of a background of what the exact dark forest theory is.
Why we've never discovered intelligent alien life. It's called the dark forest. And it could actually be true. Imagine you're alone and lost in the woods at night. You don't know who or what could be out there among the trees. The question is, should you light a fire? If you want to bet that the forest is full of friends willing to help, then sure. But if you think there could be people out there with bad intentions, maybe you just hide in the dark. That could be what the entire universe is like. Countless civilizations staying out of sight because they're afraid of the few who are willing to attack first and ask questions later. But there are also reasons why the dark forest concept could be wrong. If civilizations can find a way to communicate without putting themselves in danger, then maybe they could build trust. And if life doesn't always want to expand outward, there'd be less reason to compete and more to coexist. There's only one way to know for sure, and that's to keep searching for life elsewhere. Who knows? Maybe somewhere out in that forest that is the universe, we'll find someone who was brave enough to light a fire. The three body problem series.
That is an extremely unsettling proposition.
Yeah, I mean, it's just, if you think about it, it's just cultivating fear on a cosmic level, From all of our studies in the Forbidden Rules from the Urantia book, the Law of One says the universe is a friendly place overall. It's a positive place meant for ascenders, There isn't really the evil beings that are trying to dissect and cut you up. I mean, obviously, I have some pet theories of mine that we're not going to go into right now, but for the most part, we're taught that it's a positive, benevolent universe. It's a loving universe, and it seems like this concept is trying to steal that from us. It's trying to get us to get all cosmically paranoid. Like a meth head in a cabin. Like, they're outside. They're going to get me. They want you to feel like that, and I think that's dirty.
Isn't that crazy though, that the fact that we people have a hard time accepting that the universe, like, aliens, and that the universe might be a overall a benevolent place, is because we only go based off of what we've experienced
Hollywood.
on this planet,
which is an outlier,
which also includes Hollywood, which also includes like propaganda and all that. But would you say Earth is a friendly place? Would you say Earth is a generally friendly place? That's what I'm saying. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
So there's a disconnect here.
Yeah. But Earth's the hood,
Earth is the hood. Earth is the Compton, dude. Earth is Compton of
the entire universe.
Yeah.
Straight up.
I was gonna say the Milky Way,
bro. Make it everywhere.
We come from the trenches, dog. You know what I mean? Like, this is.
That's what I'm saying. That's what makes us so strong after we ascend and go up there.
Yeah.
Agandanters, baby. But yeah, so that's a dark force resolution to the Fermi paradox. Again, it's just another negative fear cultivating aspect. But from a Department of Defense military point of view, you have to be prepared for the worst, because you don't want to get caught slipping. You don't want to get caught asleep and have no defenses up. So It makes sense. And that's the reason why we have such a great country. I know it's being debated on right now, but we have such a great country in my point of view. It's because we can protect ourselves. We can protect our borders. We can allow it so the savages can't run in and just rape our women and take our children, You need defenses because the savage will come in, regardless if you like it or not.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Nebby kind of touched on what you're saying. We're running under the assumption that other races out there in the cosmos would be like us, that they'd be tribal and competitive. But I would argue, I feel like probably a lot of truth seekers would argue that for a civilization to even reach that point of interstellar travel, they had to have come together as a society, completely unified to be able to build flying saucers. I feel like a flying saucer is like a trophy you earn when you achieve world peace.
That's the thing. That's why I'm not so against the idea of a one world government. A lot of conspiracy theorists, they're like, no, listen, they're like,
throw up the Illuminati.
Yeah, they'll throw up the Illuminati and they'll be like, oh, this like devil worshippers are running the world and they want to depopulate. But like, I think honestly, a one world government, one world party, one world nation, that like one human race, that is inevitable. That's going to happen. And that is a step forward for humanity. That's not a bad thing. So I'm not sure how to feel about the whole Illuminati thing, but the idea of a one world government is like a highly positive advantage, because that would mean, there would be no more war with one another. That would mean there's no more beefing between nations. And a lot of people say, oh well, one world government, that means that you strip the identity of every nation and like you have no culture anymore. That's not true. You can maintain like nation states, but it's still a one world government. The UN would be the best way to do it, but I don't trust the UN. So one world government under them would suck.
Nebby is Illuminati confirmed.
I was gonna say that. Illuminati apologist in the chat.
Hold on, let me see if I can do it.
No, I hear what you're saying. It's the
Illuminati
the non-dystopian version of the one world unified, all the different people groups working together, which United Nations is a early version attempt, but not necessarily. We're not necessarily unified by universal like spiritual consciousness values, which I think is really necessary in order to accomplish that positive version.
Maybe 3i Atlas will unify us to get us to the positive version.
There's also that whole
Let's keep reading, guys. Come on.
Okay.
All right. we show that 3i Atlas approaches surprisingly close to Venus, Mars, and Jupiter with a probability of under 0.005%. No, sorry, with a probability of over about 0.005%, right? Greater than.
Less than.
That's not.
I think that's like
Probability
less
of
than with a
or
degree of.
Less than or
equal
equal to. Less than or
I
equal.
thought less than you have to have the angle pointed towards the number.
No, that's less than, but then the curly line.
Oh, the 5 would have to be on the left side.
Variance.
Yeah.
So less than 0.005%. Furthermore, the low retrograde tilt of 3i Atlas's orbital plane to the ecliptic offers various benefits to an extraterrestrial intelligence, since it allows the object access to our planet with relative impunity. So that's a gnarly one right there. So it's already saying that it's going to pass surprisingly close past Venus, Mars, and Jupiter with a probability of 0.005%. And then because of its trajectory, it's actually coming directly into our ecliptic, the ecliptic plane for our solar system, which gives it access to our planet with impunity. So these two data points are what setting off red flags and alerts in the minds of these astrophysicists, because the chances of both of these data points happening are really slim to none, and it kind of shows and hints at signs of intelligence. So I'm going to share my screen one more time for the people, probably a couple more times, but let's see. What is the ecliptic? All right here, let's do it.
Hi, my name is Phil and I'm a senior lecturer in astrophysics at the University of Lincoln, and I want to use this really short video to just introduce what the ecliptic is in astronomy. So the first thing to really note is that the Earth orbits the Sun, which you're probably aware of. That's the key thing really when we're going to discuss the ecliptic. So the Earth is orbiting around the Sun in this kind of manner here. Obviously that's not to scale, that's just to give you an idea of the fact that it's going around the Sun, I suppose. The ecliptic then is actually the orbital plane of the Earth. So if we kind of just use that, the plane of the orbit, and expand out, then that is going to be our ecliptic. So that's essentially what it is in short. But the Earth's rotation axis is tilted to the ecliptic. So if we actually look at the rotation axis of Earth, it's not the same as the rotation axis as the Sun, and the orbital plane of Earth is actually tilted to the ecliptic. So as we go around, we kind of move around in that there. So the celestial equator is inclined to the ecliptic by about 23.4.
Nice. Thanks for that.
Yeah, to give you guys some mental ideographs so that you can put mental pictures to the text that we're reading right here, because it's very important. So the ecliptic is the plane of orbit that the Earth does around the sun. So if you can imagine our orbit around the sun, we just create a plane that's like a thin disk, and that plane is what we call the ecliptic. This thing is coming on a perfect trajectory into our ecliptic, which is weird in the first place. Out of all of that 360-degree sphere, it's choosing to enter right in the Earth's ecliptic. That's a one data point that's like, okay, that's weird. It seems like it's coming right into our gravitational field. And on top of that, it's choosing to enter on the ecliptic at a specific time where it passes Venus, Mars, and Jupiter. So they're like, all right, this is kind of weird. The eclipse by the sun from Earth. Wait, I didn't skip anything. The eclipse by the sun from Earth of 3i Atlas at perihelion would allow it to conduct a clandestine reverse solar Oberth maneuver, an optimal high thrust strategy for interstellar spacecraft to break and stay bound to the sun. So another mouthful right there. So the eclipse by the sun from Earth of 3i Atlas at perihelion. So again, got a little infographic for the people so that we can actually understand what this paper is talking about. Planetary HQ going to make it so you can understand the Harvard astrophysicist demon ideology. The tricknology. No, okay. So what is the perihelion? Let me mute myself real quick.
The phenomenon of the Earth's revolution, aphelion, perihelion, and equinox. The Earth rotates on its axis at a speed of 1,669.97 kilometers per hour. Completely one round, in about 24 hours or 1 day. The Earth revolves around the Sun, not in a perfect circle, but in the form of an ellipse or oval. Because the shape of the Earth orbit is elliptical, of course, there will be times when the Earth will be far from the Sun, and at certain times, it will be close to the Sun. The farthest distance from the Earth to the Sun is called aphelion. The distance is 152 million kilometers. The Earth's closest distance from the Sun is called perihelion. The distance is 147 million kilometers. Aphelion occurred around the 6th of July, and perihelion occurs around January 3rd. Then,
That was very informative. I didn't know any of that.
Yep, that's why I'm trying to break down this paper for the people, our viewers, so they kind of get an understanding. Because once you get an understanding of these concepts, it just becomes clear. Everybody thinks math and geometry is so hard, but the only thing that makes things hard is that you don't understand it. And everything's relatively simple once you can conceptualize it. Once you understand it, it becomes like the back of your hand. So hope we can shed some light on the paper. So that's perihelion, the one we're the closest to the sun in our orbit. So the eclipse by the sun from Earth of 3i Atlas at perihelion. So on top of those two data points we just talked about, it's coming in to our ecliptic. It's passing Venus, Mars, and Jupiter. It's also coming in at a moment where Earth is at the perihelion and it's using the sun as a block for us. So it's coming on the backside of the aphelion or the ephelion. It's coming on that long part in while the Earth is behind the sun. So it's doing all of these maneuvers that seem to be like an intelligent ship is behind it. At least that's what they're proposing. Very interesting data points. So why would it be doing all this? Why would it come into the ecliptic, passing these three planets, and then coming at the exact moment where we're at perihelion, the sun is blocking it, so we can't even see it coming. It's just using the sun as like a block. As a running back going for the touchdown. I got that big blocker in front of you. And then on top of that, that would allow it to conduct a clandestine reversed solar Oberth maneuver. And you already know. Debate got that fire for you. Well, let me mute myself real quick.
The Oberth effect is really one of the fundamental things to understand about space travel, because it dictates when and where you want to be performing your maneuvers in space. To put it simply, the Oberth effect describes the fact that firing your spacecraft's engines when you're at high speeds is a lot more effective than firing them when you're at low speeds. And as we saw in the previous videos, the fastest point of an orbit is always the periapsis, or the lowest point. So it's right at that point of the orbit that you want to be firing your engines, so that the same amount of fuel can give you a bigger change of velocity. Now what this really means is that you want to be exactly midway through your engine burn at the periapsis, so that you're distributing your burn time equally on both sides of the periapsis, which maximizes efficiency. In some cases, the spacecraft have very low thrust engines, and they'll prefer to make a series of shorter burns over multiple orbits, converting that same amount of fuel into extra kinetic energy. The Oberth effect works when passing close to any gravitational body, and you'll always want to time your engine burn around the periapsis. Craft down or speed it up. You can always use the effects of a gravity assist or a slingshot maneuver, which I'll talk about in the next video, in combination with the Oberth effect, to travel even further with less fuel. So that's it for today. Let me know what other orbital mechanics you'd like to have explained, converting that same amount of fuel.
Shout out to the Oberthian astrologists in the chat.
Yes, sir.
So it's basically using the momentum of our planet's periapsis, which is located on the perihelion of our
Yes.
and it's basically showing that it's in basically there's intent in its movement to
Yes.
maximize
And
efficiency.
look at you talking like a freaking astrophysicist over here. Put a lab coat on this boy. Yeah, exactly. So now you understand what it's saying. Exactly. When we're at our perihelion from the sun, the shortest distance from the sun, it's coming along the back, and then it's entering in a way that it can do that Oberth maneuver to slingshot itself back out if it needs to. And then if you listen to that video, you can reverse it. So there's also a reverse Oberth maneuver that you can go in on the, instead of going into the gravity, you can like use it as a brake, and you're going in opposite to where the planets are coming, and you can use it to stop yourself, which is what it's doing into our solar system. It's entering perfectly at the reverse Oberth to use gravity as a slowing point, so it stops right by our sun.
That's
and everybody's like, what the hell? Yeah,
That's
so
interesting.
these are some gnarly data points. An optimal, okay, yeah, so it would conduct a clandestine reverse solar Oberth maneuver, an optimal high thrust strategy for interstellar spacecraft to brake and stay bound to the sun. See, now we understand that sentence. An optimal intercept of Earth would entail an arrival in late November, early December of 2025. It's not that far. Well, it's only a couple months. And also a non-gravitational acceleration of about 5.9 times 10 to the negative fifth astronomical units, or AU, a day to the negative second, normalized at 1 AU from the sun, would indicate an intent to intercept the planet Jupiter not far off its path, and a strategy to rendezvous with it after perihelion.
Pretty creative.
Yeah. So that's some gnarly stuff right there. What are you guys feeling about that? Is that opening any mental channels?
What I'm noticing is it's speculating that that's what it's going to do. It hasn't done it yet. They're saying that that's what they're thinking, and if it does, then that would raise more.
Well, the object just passed Pluto.
Okay. And do we know if it did the Oberth effect in Pluto?
It's not. Good question. I'm sure we have to look at some recent data transmissions.
Because if it did, and it's like speeding towards Earth, that's crazy. Yo, that's scary.
Using planets.
That's so crazy.
I don't think it's scary, because what it's saying, what this paper is proposing is it's using a solar Oberth maneuver to basically go around that Oberth region of the orbit around the sun to put on the brakes so that it can get locked in the sun's orbit, and then possibly make its way closer from there after several orbits, something like that.
Yeah, so maybe it's already coming in hot, and it just needs to use that for a break, as opposed to it doesn't need to slingshot off other planets. I don't know. We got to look into more of the data. Let's keep reading though. Introduction. This paper is contingent on a remarkable, but as we shall show, testable hypothesis, to which the authors do not necessarily ascribe, yet is certainly worth of an analysis and of report for two reasons. One, the consequences, should the hypothesis turn out to be correct, could potentially be dire for humanity, and would possibly require defensive measures to be undertaken, though these might prove futile. Two, the hypothesis is an interesting exercise in its own right, and is fun to pursue, irrespective of its likely validity. Look, it says it right there in the introduction, number 2. It's just a fun, hypothetical, interesting exercise, you know. But
this is
that
their
how
version
bored
of a
these
forbidden
astrophysicists
scroll.
are?
Yeah,
Yeah.
the media just ran with it. They're like, aliens are coming and they're gonna, that's crazy. The articles are crazy.
But I think there's powers that be that know the media will run with it to affect society. To bring it to that tinfoil hat thing, like if we were talking about, who is it, Mike Bentz and the U.S. aid fiasco that happened, we were caught buying media companies in foreign countries. We'd buy 80% of the news outlets. So we own their newspapers and we'd own their broadcasting stations. And the CIA, one officer was on record saying, I was the first officer to impeach a foreign president using our media outlet. All I did was print a slanderous article about him, And then we paid off a politician within their system and like gave them this information if it's real. So they just kept playing it over the media broadcast station. The people got pissed. One of the legislation guys who actually had power started hearing the people, prosecuted, and they got the president impeached, all based off of a CIA media outlet. They know that with news, you can change people, political organizations, institutions. They are so aware of this. Mockingbird, Project Monarch, look at it. So I think there's institutions that know if we drip feed these kind of papers into the media news, they want it to get blown up, because they want to paint a narrative or cultivate a narrative, if that makes sense. But I like it. It gives me something to live stream about. So if you're listening to this and you like what we're talking about so far, if we're helping you at all, please hit that like button and don't forget to rub up Schnasty against that subscribe button. It'll keep you up to date with all the Celestial podcasts. Don't forget to check out my brother Nebby's music, and let's keep rolling. I just realized this Forbidden Scroll style. Does anybody else want to pick up?
Yeah, I can pick up from here.
Cool.
So, the hypothesis in question is the recent interstellar visitor to our solar system, 3I Atlas, and forces. It is a technological artifact and furthermore has active intelligence. If this is the case, then two possibilities follow. First, that its intentions are entirely benign, and second, they are malign.
Oh,
In the first case, humanity need do nothing save await the arrival of this intelligence with open arms. It is the second eventuality which is of most concern, and according to the so-called dark forest resolution to the Fermi paradox, would be more likely, as it would neatly explain the singular lack of success of the SETI initiative to date. So, from my understanding, the SETI initiative was Carl Sagan had sent out a message into space with encoded a bunch of information about our DNA, our place in the solar system, who we are, our address, and all that. Don't share your address on the internet. I think that's what the Dark Forest proposing is. That might have
not to be confused with the Yeti initiative, which was the search for Sasquatch. No, you're right. Yeah, search for extraterrestrial intelligence. Sorry, forgive my corny jokes. Sorry for interrupting you. Keep going.
That's all good.
Deep state confirmed.
Yeti. Discovered on 1st July 2025 by the Asteroid Terrestrial Impact Last Alert System, 3I Atlas is, as its designation indicates, the latest interstellar object, or interloper, to be discovered passing through our solar system. The first 11, the first 1I, Oumuamua, Oumuamua, detected in 2017.
Oh, mama.
Oh, mama. Detected in 2017 was only visible for a period of 2 months, though various anomalous features of this object have yet to be clarified. Despite this, there are still very entrenched opinions on the subject in the scientific community, as Eldadi, Tenenbaum, and Loeb submitted to Psychological Review on July 9th, 2025. There's a table there, considerations which support the hypothesis that 3I Atlas is technological. So that's just different data points. The delta needed to intercept Jupiter is small. The delta velocity, I guess, needed to intercept Mars is small.
Yeah, I love this table right here. So this is the table 1, and they're going to keep referencing this table the entire paper.
Okay.
And I didn't even know you could do this. So if you really study this table, it's really cool. It's like on the left, it's evidences, evidence 1, evidence 2, evidence 3, and then description of their evidence. So evidence 1, 3I Atlas's orbital plane lies virtually in the ecliptic through retrograde. Boom. Evidence 2, 3I Atlas is too large to be an asteroid. So these are all their talking points, like condensed. Like, this is cool. They're like really condensing their ideographs into one like little table. And like all these mental pictures, I want you to stack into one concept frame. Then we're going to keep referencing these concept frames throughout the rest of the paper. It's a genius way to do it. And we can take a couple notes of that once we start writing our papers, Yeah, so cool. Remember this, and he's going to go through every evidence and talk about all the talking points. So it's great. It's a great scientific paper.
Okay, so I guess
just
we
stacking
should
thought forms. Well, we should go over the evidences.
Yeah, we probably should go over this. 3i Atlas shows no evidence of cometary outgassing. That might have been debunked since this paper was
Since
written.
then, yep.
I think they have noticed a trail coming off of it. 3i Atlas.
Tacoma.
Yeah, there you go. Thank you. 3i Atlas approaches unusually close to Venus, Mars, and Jupiter. 5, 3i Atlas achieves perihelion on the opposite side of the Sun to Earth. 6, the optimal point to do a reverse solar oberth and stay bound to the Sun is at perihelion. 7, 3i Atlas's incoming radiant made it hard to detect sooner. Then, of course, the things about the delta velocity needed to intercept Jupiter is small, which I think is saying that this was very
It's like the
unlikely to
vector.
happen. Yeah, I think so. So it's interesting to note the location 3i Atlas is coming into our solar system. Our sun obscures 3i Atlas from our perspective. So as we're traveling around, here's 3i Atlas on the other side of the sun, kind of obscured by the sun. So we actually won't be able to observe what it's doing while it's doing it.
So annoying,
That's
isn't
trippy,
it?
huh?
It's like when it's close enough and we can get our nice ass telescopes like real close up, it's gonna be behind the sun. Like if you thought the dark side of the moon was a bit weird, like, oh, dark side of the moon, we never
Dark
see
side
it.
of the
You just
sun.
put a base on it. Dark side of the sun. Yeah. This craft is this comet with the aliens inside is literally gonna be playing hide and seek. It's just like we need
How
that
convenient.
TR3B up there to get the footy.
Yep.
That's what I'm saying, dude. You don't think they already have them up there? So, like, come on, we don't have the Black Knight satellite,
Dude,
the rumored.
I heard a crazy story about I-1, the Oumuamua, that we sent an anti-gravity craft to it, and it was a spaceship.
Yeah.
I forget. It was just like a thing that I saw online.
Whoa.
And that
Okay,
it, like they
okay.
confirmed. And obviously, it's like I don't know the source of the story. I didn't bookmark it, but fun, obviously if we do have advanced, secret space program craft, like, yeah, we would send it out there to check, especially if all these evidences are like weird. It's like, okay.
Yeah, very
Let's see.
convenient. Secret space program knows all about.
Yeah, I actually got something for you right here.
What if it's picking up the
Oh.
next 20 and back crew?
Oh, there you go. I like that one. That's I got something for you guys. I'll put this in the chat too, so you can show the people if you want. But it's not a video or nothing.
I see it.
Cool. This came out on Reddit 2 days ago. It said, I don't know, it's from 4chan, so it's legit. Supposedly this is an anonymous whistleblower. It said it's pretty
Of
obvious
course.
to anyone who follows space
No
shit.
one-
That's
No one would
that's
ever
what it
lie
says.
on the internet.
Space
No
shit.
one would
Military
ever lie on
whistleblower.
4chan.
And isn't an influencer that it's either something we have never seen before on a real lucky 1 in a billion path, or it's actually a spaceship. Okay, so these are supposedly what happens in the past couple of days or weeks. The Smithsonian tunnels emptied for inspection. The nuclear armed subs they deploy to sea. Sudden weird peace between Ukraine and Russia. Cities are becoming militarized. There became an embargo on high-resolution James Webb images.
What?
Congress and government now rushing to acknowledge to the public they have evidence of aliens. And the reconnaissance by drones globally just 6 months ago over everything nuclear. The dots connect here. It's super obvious what's about to happen. We are about to accept space refugees or about to be wiped out. High probability we don't know which one.
Damn, yeah, I'm
So
convinced.
just wanted to throw that into the.
That's such a bleak way of like going at it. Like, really? That's
Space
what the only
refugee.
outcomes. Space refugees, bro? Really?
You see the thumbnail, dude? Come on, man.
No Galactic Federation.
Right? That'd be lame if we had to take a bunch of immigrants. We're like, yeah,
Yeah.
dude, we're gonna get us into the Galactic Fed, and they're like, no, we need a place to live.
Immigrants. It's
Like,
another
dude, what the
immigration thing.
fuck? Like, nah. What's that one movie? District 9. Isn't that
Yeah,
one?
District 9.
Yeah.
That's interesting. I feel like all those data points would need further investigation to verify, but Anna Paulina Luna just had an interview on Joe Rogan. She did mention
Great interview, yeah.
that was an awesome interview. I love her. Congress
Whoa.
is
Oh my God. Man, I love
Relax.
it.
Congress is planning on she she revealed Congress is planning on doing another UAP, like a
The hearing.
House
Another
Oversight
hearing.
Committee kind of thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
September or something.
Yeah.
coming
Yeah.
up soon.
Looking
I kind of
forward
want to
to
go to that, guys. If you guys want to try to get.
go to it in person. All right.
Yeah, for real. We should be there.
A
Planetary
lot of
HQ.
media people go. Jesse Michaels and another big
They'll
YouTube
all be
channel. They
there.
were all making sure they were
At the
there to
last
cover
one,
it. Yeah.
Nice.
Mhm.
Nice. All right. So perhaps one of the most puzzling observations is the presence of a statistically significant non-gravitational acceleration. Example, some numbers. Normalized to a distance of 1 astronomical units from the sun, despite there being no evidence of cometary outgassing from One-Eye Oumuamua. Oumuamua.
Oumuamua. Yeah.
Oumuamua. Oh, mama. The most likely cause of non-gravitational accelerations of this kind.
Sorry. Every time you say "oh mama,"
Oh, mama.
Oumuamua.
The discourse on whether the object One-Eye Oumuamua was artificial, i.e., the non-gravitational force was actually solar radiation pressure (SRP) on extremely thin photonic solar cells, has been mired in bitter controversy. Yet, nevertheless, it seems to the authors as a hypothesis perfectly worthy of pursuing, in a similar fashion to the hypothesis proposed in this paper, and the consequences derived can then be rejected or accepted accordingly. We employ OITS, or Optimum Interplanetary Trajectory Software, the interplanetary mission design tool, to investigate the likelihood and implications of 3i Atlas being an alien spacecraft with high and/or low thrust maneuverability. For further information regarding OITS, proceed to Hibbard and a bunch of sources. For this analysis, 2 possible nonlinear problem in LP solver options are available, namely Nomad or Midico. The efficacy of this software has proven for a variety of applications, for example, for previous interstellar objects such as One-Eye Oumuamua and Two-Eye Borisov, as well as for terrestrial planets. Okay. So they're using some fine software to track this thing.
Yeah.
They're saying.
So I think that's the software that I think GPS and NASA and JPL they developed over their space years, and I guess they have access to it. So the numbers check out.
They know where.
Somebody want to pick up number 2?
Yeah, I can start reading. Evidence for the hypothesis. Table 1 summarizes the different factors which support our hypothesis. These are each addressed in turn below. Taking the first row in Table 1, it appears that besides the fact it is clearly on a hyperbolic trajectory that possesses a non-zero speed at an infinite distance from the sun of 60 kilometers a second to the exponent of -1, there is further extremely unusual feature of 3i Atlas's trajectory that is which is that its orbital plane is tilted only slightly from the ecliptic by approximately 5 degrees and is retrograde. This means attempts by humanity to intercept it, or even more difficult, rendezvous with it, are extremely challenging, if not impossible, with chemical rockets. Yet, nonetheless, as we shall see, allows 3i Atlas to intercept certain key target planets with relative ease. Furthermore, a low ecliptic tilt at a distance from the sun would enable an ETI, through astronomic measurements, to determine the orbits and masses of the solar system planets, allowing it to prepare an optimal approach strategy to the solar system. The likelihood for such perfect alignment of the orbital angular momentum vector around the sun for Earth and Atlas is pi multiplied by 5 degrees divided by 57 degrees, and then all you got to do is divide it by 4 pi equals 2 times 10 to the third negative exponent. So let me just get out my TR3i calculator, TR3b calculator here, and calculate that. Is there anything to break down out of here? So there was this line here: enable an ETI through astronomic measurements to determine the orbits and masses of the solar systems. Oh, so something about this low ecliptic tilt would theoretically help them
Helps
make
it
their
scan our
measurements.
solar system.
Okay.
Yeah. It's like the perfect angle to scan all of without like going out of the course too much. It's pretty gnarly. Another thing, it says that the way it's coming in like retrograde against the gravity, it's like a defense tactic, which makes it almost impossible for us to intercept it while it's coming in. Because if it was coming at the same time, then we can kind of shoot up and catch up with it. But if it's coming at us really fast, we can't like.
Sure. Got it.
So all these weird things lining up.
Okay. All right. It might be sold by
You're
the
a
end of this
believer?
paper.
You're a believer.
Yeah. I mean, you go if these. I guess I don't know how to gauge like how these things, but these things seem to suggest, intent, intelligence rather than randomness. And so that is like I think that is valid to like point all these things out and be like, look, like this is how we would use these same tactics if we were coming into another solar system. And it's very cool to see. I don't know if Oumuamua, I didn't read the original paper for that, but I don't know if it had that many things to it. And also, I didn't know how did that one even get this close to Earth, like being behind the sun and everything?
Question. I want to say no, but
Yeah. I want a really good picture of this as it comes through our solar system. That'd be sick.
I went ahead and shared an image in the chat here in the skiff. These are the images taken so far of 3i Atlas. The first one, the colorful dots going across, is multiple frames, kind of long exposure, just so you can kind of see its path. Pretty interesting. That's what we got so far.
All right, awesome.
So where is it? Oh yeah, that picture, so detailed.
All right, so continuing reading. Missions to 3i Atlas would have been much easier had the interstellar object been traveling in the ecliptic plane prograde. Figure 1 illustrates opportunities to Atlas expire by year end, and even then would only be achievable for a SpaceX Starship refueled in low Earth orbit, and a spacecraft payload with nuclear thermal propulsion.
Is that even something that we do currently? Like nuclear?
That's what I want to know.
Is that something we do? Like seriously?
I'm not sure.
Did they just
It says
accidentally
that constitutes an extremely challenging launch requirement. So it sounds like it's something we can do, but it's even extra challenging. So yeah, this Atlas is really gaming on us, just dunking. This is a big dunk for the aliens. Aliens 1, humans
Space Jam confirmed.
-2. Okay, so let's see. Here's a table here. Color contours of characteristic energy for direct missions. Let me just let me put on my 3D glasses here to read this to you.
Yeah, this was kind of hard to read, but
Flight duration and launch date. Got some dates.
Yeah, I won't.
Yeah, flight duration and launch date. I don't know. I couldn't really make too much of it, but whatever.
Yeah.
And the energy.
So the second table.
That's referring to second evidence from table 1.
That's what I was referring to. Pork chop.
3-1 Atlas is too large to be an asteroid. So that's what they're addressing right there. Evidence 2.
Okay, too large to be an asteroid. So that's what we're focusing on now. The true nature of Atlas is somewhat ambiguous. Apart from a hypothesis proposed already, 2 distinct yet natural incarnations present themselves for this object. 1, it is an asteroid, in which case, assuming a standard albedo of 0.05, an object must be around 20 kilometers in diameter. Oh, it is an asteroid. Okay. And number 2, it is a comet, in which case the object would be surrounded by a fuzzy coma with a much smaller nucleus. Both of these natural explanations present difficulties, however. In the first case, because the prevalence of interstellar objects of size 20 kilometers should be much lower, by many orders of magnitude than that of objects the size of 1I Oumuamua, which was 2 orders of magnitude smaller than 3I Atlas. Okay, so Atlas is bigger. This then implies the visit into our solar system. So maybe 1I was the scout, and now 3I is the ship, is the contact.
I like it.
Galactus.
Don't forget what's his name, Bezarov or whatever, the second object.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
I didn't hear anything
like
about that one.
Bismol.
So then this implies the
That's
visit
how they
into
wanted
our
it.
solar. Yeah, that's how they want. That was the real. We had
Like
first
they have you
contact.
just where they want you.
That's how
Or
they
so.
know that they're coming back for legit now to take over. Because the second one was we interacted. So implies the visit into our solar system
The
of
Thyron's
Atlas
from.
should be exceedingly low probability. That's what we zoom in with the telescope. That's why the telescope embargo has been put up, because we zoomed in tight and we saw Thyron, Ashtar, and the galactic blonde-haired baddies just like
The
hanging
mullets
in
blowing in the
spacesuits
breeze.
riding this
They can't see
asteroid.
this. The public can't see this.
Rippling
We saw the
ads.
Pleiadians.
Yeah, that's right. My eyes are watering.
Whoops.
Whatever. I like a good laugh.
And we got that should be the thumbnail. Thyron riding on the Atlas.
Thyron's palace.
Who's Thyron?
Here, I'll drop an image.
Who the fuck's Thyron? That's what everybody's saying right now. We'll drop an image in the chat. Is that picture even online?
You can
That
probably
might be
get the
so
book
OG.
cover.
I found it.
Pull up the Amazon book cover.
Damn, that was
There's
quick.
Thyron, the most handsome chiseled alien you've ever seen.
I
Damn, you
am
found
Thyron.
that. Damn. That's hard, dude. The autobiography
Bro's
of
got
an
the
extraterrestrial.
infinity gems on his suit. Dang.
Oh damn!
And you know that craft reminds me of I think some of the descriptions from Bledsoe talking about like some multicolor.
The
I
multicolor.
forget, I think he mentioned something like that, you know, when it was up close. I might be wrong.
I think he has Super Saiyan 3 hair too, right? Super Saiyan 3 Goku or Super Saiyan 4 Goku. Same hair.
Literally, Super Saiyans are real, bro.
Dude, the guy who created Dragon Ball Z, if you look into it, he says like these are real memories he got downloaded. Like they weren't.
There's
like,
no way. There's no way he
Yeah,
said that. There's
I
no way.
swear-
There's no
I
way
swear,
he
dude.
said that, bro. I'm watching Dragon Ball right now. I'm watching Dragon Ball.
That's why it's all crazy. That's
Can you
right. That's why you guys are
imagine?
at Planetary HQ.
Crazy. That's crazy.
Check that one out. Tucker Carlson is an alien, confirmed.
Yeah, the fucking top left right there. That's Tucker Carlson. And then we have Will Ferrell. Okay, let's get
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So
let's get back to the
shout out to Craig Campabosa. We're gonna check out his books. I think we met him at a conference. Contact in the Desert, actually. Briefly, we found his books, and it's some Urantia Book Expanded Universe material. So I have the first book on me. See if we can find
Oh
PDFs
wow,
and
you're
stuff.
stoked.
Yeah,
I really
gotta
want to read
start.
that. Yeah.
Cool. Let's keep reading now. Back to the science. In the second case, there has been to date absolutely no sign from spectroscopic analysis of cometary activity on the Atlas. Such activity would imply a much smaller nucleus and allow Atlas to be drawn from a much larger interstellar population. We await with anticipation further observations of Atlas, which should clarify the situation. The fuzz observed around Atlas is inconclusive given the motion of the object and the inevitable smearing of the image over the exposure time. Okay. Or it's an
like what kind of camera
anti-gravity
is it? What
force
shutter
field
speed? I like that
inhibiting
There's a
your
force
shutter speed.
field.
Yeah.
Supposedly
Okay,
the government has that technology, so if the government does, then why can't aliens? You know?
Yeah, dog. So we're on to the fourth point now, which should I scroll back up and read that for?
Yeah.
So
that makes sense.
Atlas approaches unusually close to Venus, Mars, and Jupiter.
Mhm.
Let's find the meaning of
I like
that.
reading these papers. It's cool. We need to do more Forbidden Scrolls scientific papers.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so Atlas approaches particularly close to Venus, Mars, and Jupiter during its visit to our solar system. Refer to Table 2. In the following analysis, we assume that Atlas is on its current orbit, but vary the time of entry into the solar system, or equivalently the time of perihelion, assuming Atlas could have come at any time into the solar system, and it happened to do so such that it came within the observed closest approaches of Venus, Mars, and Jupiter. The probability of this is 0.005%. We further assume that the closest approach of Atlas to the planet is entirely a consequence of its difference in heliocentric longitude. In practice, this will not actually be the case, and this constitutes an upper bound on probability.
This entirely new table right here.
Yeah.
Table 2. It's showing like all the maximum closest possible approach, minimum closest possible approach. They factor in the error, and then they like put numbers on it, and then they average it all out. It's pretty cool. So like they're saying like there is wiggle room, and they go over it later in the paragraph.
So the sixth column of Table 2 provides the degree of misalignment in longitude between the planet in question and the interstellar object at its closest approach. As the orbits of the planet are nearly circular, then if this longitudinal difference is say x amount of degrees, then the probability of the planet lying within x degrees longitude is this p equals 2x divided by degrees divided by 360. Final column is a calculation of this probability in percent. So they're explaining this table here, these different columns, on how they're calculating probabilities here. So the overall probability of all three planets aligning in this way is the product of these three values amounts to that less than 0.005%. Okay, so they're using those three factors to get that initial number. Overall probability.
And just for context, I shared an image of what an astronomical unit looks like. It's basically just the distance between the Earth and the Sun. I didn't know that.
Yep.
Parsec. I know about
The
those.
Millennium Falcon.
Yeah.
What is it? It can travel some couple parsecs. There's a famous line, whatever. He says, "Don't you know this thing did the whatever?"
Yeah, the something run in a something parsec.
In something part, yeah, exactly.
That does seem familiar to me too. I think I know what you're talking about.
I've heard that in Star Wars for sure.
Yeah, I've heard that. I think Obi-Wan says it or something.
I'll get the quote here from GBT.
You got
Han Solo's famous boast in Star Wars: A New Hope. It's the ship that made the
no.
Kessel Run in less than 12 parsecs.
Less than 12 parsecs.
Parsec is a unit of distance, not time. 3.26 light years. Nice.
So is it wrong? Whatever.
Nobody knew
at the time.
It says
He uses it
Han
wrong.
seemed to be bragging about speed, but used a distance measure, which confused a lot of fans and critics.
He didn't know. That's hilarious. We need to get that on the soundboard, dude.
Yeah.
Wonder if we'll get dinged for it.
All right, rolling forward, and maybe I'll pass it on once we get to this next chart.
Yeah, you can pass it on.
So the fifth row of the table shows that at its perihelion on 29 October 2025, when it reaches 1.35 AU from the sun, Atlas will be totally obscured from the Earth by the sun. If we assume this obscuration occurs within a solar elongation of 30 degrees, then it is straightforward to calculate the likelihood of this alignment with the sun and Earth as approximately 7%. But why should such a celestial alignment be indicative of intelligence? Asking the real questions. Refer to the sixth row of Table 1. We find a possible motivation since the optimal braking strategy to stay bound to the sun for high thrust propulsion is a reverse solar O-berth, where all the thrust is imparted at perihelion. Thus, any maneuvers of this kind would be obscured from Earth observation, allowing a surprise arrival on Earth to be conducted.
Ooh.
This is how scientists spell maneuvers. Don't forget it.
Yeah, I was about to say I've never seen it spelled like that. Manoeeu.
I wonder if it's
Maneuvers.
British English.
Yeah, probably.
Manures.
Maneuvers.
Manoeuvres. Hors d'oeuvres.
Hors d'oeuvres.
Atlas is preparing hors d'oeuvres. The
Ooh,
seventh
to serve, man.
Nice.
The seventh row in Table 1 reveals a curious feature of Atlas' apparent direction of origin, in that the Atlas incoming radiant to the solar system was from the direction of the galactic center, a particularly bright region which has
Galactic
been noted,
Federation
confirmed, which has been noted elsewhere, made the object particularly difficult to discern by Earth-based telescopes, in turn rendering it less conducive to early detection.
Ooh. So they're coming in with the light in the
Light
background. They got the light code, so we
to
can't even see 'em.
obscure them. So it's like like when a cop shines a light into your eyes and you can't see anything.
Yeah,
That's what they're doing.
perfect.
Everything's lining up. It's weird.
The relevance of this, that had the object indeed been discovered earlier, then there would have been some possibility that humanity could have mounted an intercept mission, a recourse that was out of the question by the time Atlas was actually detected. Figure 2 shows the optimal intercept trajectory for a mission to Atlas with optimal launch over a year ago. Aw. Figure 2.
Yeah.
Is that
We
this?
missed the window, guys. We're screwed.
Yep.
Dang it.
So here's figure 2. You can see Atlas coming in at orange, and we could have met it where that yellow line hits if we would have shot a year ago. So it's already past that point. Yeah.
That's what they want you to think, because they don't. The anti-grav can get us there.
Right.
now.
The TR3Bs have been up there, dog. Come on now.
Yeah, right.
Don't stay woke, people. If you can see, the rocket is actually doing an Oberth maneuver around the Earth to meet the Atlas. Cool. Kessel Run 14 parsecs. Figure 2, the optical. So my turn to read. Yeah, I guess I'll read. Unless Nebby, you want to read? You know how to read?
I know how to read.
I'm just fucking with you.
I'm not
we don't want to make you read
the
if you
best
want
He
to.
can only rap.
I'll read it.
He
I'll
can't
read it. I just don't know. Here. I just don't want to screw it up.
All right. Do
The
start
pressure's
from,
on.
This is 3 possible strategies and motivations. If you want to just keep reading from under the graph.
Okay, so figure 2, optimal trajectory to intercept 3i Atlas with launch date on 2024 July 9th, a full year earlier than the discovery date of this interstellar object. 3i Atlas has already passed close to Pluto, which is around 5.1 astronomical units, and in the future it will come very close to the inner planets. Venus, which is around 65.65 AU, and Mars, which is around 0.19 AU, and Jupiter, which is around 0.36 AU, which you can see in Figure 3. As a consequence, the change in change in velocity?
Yeah, that's delta
Yeah.
velocity. So yeah, that's the change in
vector
velocity.
and velocity. So the angle of momentum and velocity.
So the delta velocity needed by 3i Atlas to either intercept any of those planets or send probes to them is low. Where's Figure 4? I want to see that.
Hello.
They're at the very bottom. We'll get to there in a second. Let's just finish this.
Okay,
one
okay.
real quick.
Okay, kind of moved into... Okay, Mercury and Earth are exceptions, so this makes sense if 3i Atlas had narrowed its intentions to planets in the sun's habitable zone. The reason for keeping its distance from Earth shall be elucidated below. Thus,
Okay, I say we hop over to these graphs for a second, but it says, okay, so it already passed Pluto at 5.1 AU. So 5.1 distances of Earth from the sun. So 5 times Earth from the sun. It passed Pluto. That's pretty close. In the future, it will come only 0.65 AU to Venus, only 0.19 AU to Mars, and Jupiter only 0.36 AU. That's really close to those planets. That's closer than we
Mars
are.
is very
the
close
sun.
to us. So if it's very close to
Mhm.
Mars, it's very close,
Close
to us.
to us. Yep.
Yeah.
So that's gnarly. And then I think that's taking in its normal trajectory, and then they hypothesize it would need thrusters or gas to change its trajectory just the tiniest bit to get actually like right up close to those planets. And then they hypothesize like if it were to get right up on Mars, it would have to start its trajectory change or velocity change here. And they're waiting. If it starts changing its velocity at that point in time, then they know it's intelligent to get closer. Because if it doesn't change its non-gravitational acceleration, if there is none, it'll just kind of swoop right by it. So it will have to actually make thrust vector changes.
So my hypothesis is that it gets behind the sun, and when we're expecting to see it again leaving, we don't see it.
It's
And
gone.
it's either behind the sun, still hovering, or it stopped, and changed direction, and it remained behind the sun and then went straight backwards out of our range of vision. So let's see.
Or it went
Creepy.
into the sun.
And
Ooh.
everyone's gonna freak out at that point. If it doesn't go as expected, it's like, oh my god,
What's happening? And then we need to get Bruce Willis, the crew, to send him to the asteroid. You guys don't remember that movie? Fuck. All right, never mind.
how big is
See,
this
look, I'm coming with
asteroid?
gold, people.
And compared to Earth, how big is the asteroid? Is it smaller than the moon?
Well, it wasn't like
Is there a
14 miles
visual?
wide or something.
14 miles.
Let's see. I'll look it up.
You look
I
it
feel
up.
like it was something like that big.
I was about to say, didn't it say it? No.
Oh,
I
10
know
to
it definitely
20
says in here.
kilometers.
I'm just trying to visualize it so for the people.
Oh, compared to Earth. Yeah, shit, you gotta.
What-
If you guys
what
got
is-
a picture.
What is 20 kilometers?
Up to 12 miles. So 20 kilometers, 12 miles.
Okay.
12 miles.
Okay,
Okay, so
cool.
then what is, I know what it's like to run 3 miles, but an object that's 12 miles, what is that comparable to, visually?
A city?
That's really big. A city? Okay.
Pretty big. Town, something like that.
So it's like a
Is it, yeah.
flying town, coming through our...
Just like the
Space.
thumbnail. Just look at the thumbnail
Yeah.
for reference.
Yeah, look at the thumbnail. Come on, man.
Okay, but wait, hold on.
Just
I
scale.
know we're knee deep
Too
into
still.
this article right now, but I want to. Okay, I know at first the first thing we did before we started reading this entire paper was ask each other what do we actually think it is?
Yeah.
Now that we've actually read exactly what these scientists are proposing in this, what do you guys think now? Because a lot of this is speculative. It hasn't happened yet. I'm saying the dates that they're proposing, which is December, October to December. Do you think anything will happen here where it'll actually be, something worthwhile happening, or do you think it's just another nothing burger where it's just another coincidence that this thing happened to move this way, but nothing really came out of it?
Hmm.
I mean, it doesn't seem that speculative to me. And when they're explaining where it's going to pass by and stuff, I haven't. It seems like they're pretty sure, based on its current trajectory, that it will do this. That seems well calculated. The speculation is, does this mean it's alien or intelligent? So that's the separation I see. I'm not sure how much speculation there is on the whole trajectory.
I'm still going to wait to see what happens come December. If it disappears behind the sun and becomes Lilith. I've heard rumors of they propose Lilith as an object hidden on the other side of the sun. We'll see. Could be a
That's a hot
giant
take.
mothership.
That's
You're
hot.
talking about
I'm
Lilith
still standing
from
with
the
what
Genesis or
the
the
Bible?
alternate. Yeah,
Yeah.
the pre-Eve, the little side piece. I don't know. It's a hot take. I never heard of that. Is she floating behind the sun? I don't know. She's just sitting there waiting to take over unsuspecting guys. I don't know. I'm standing with what I said in the beginning. Seraphic biosatellite on the way to Earth to get us an entrance into the Galactic Federation, and they want us to paint it as a threat, so we're all scared, clutching onto our pearls. Well, we should be meditating in Merkaba and doing push-ups, but and anything else? You guys got any two takes? I do feel some transmissions coming from the Galactic Fashion Department, but if anybody got a last second idea.
I want to hear these transmissions.
All right.
Transmissions, yeah.
Here we go.
I need your attention, everybody. This just in. The New Jersey drones are now over New York, LA, and every major capital on the face of planet Earth. They keep repeating a message over the 6 gigahertz frequency band, and it keeps saying, Planetary HQ has cosmic garments for your physical mechanism. In other words, we got that drip. Straight from the Galactic Federation wardrobe, these tees vibrate at the frequency of chill. Ribbed knit collars lovingly hug your neck chakra, preventing collar droop across dimensions. Tapered shoulders enhance your interstellar silhouette, perfect for Earth missions and beyond. Dual side seams stabilize your style, ensuring your energy stays aligned even when encountering planetary turbulence. Crafted from 100% classified heirloom combed and ring-spun cotton, this featherlight fabric breathes like you're cruising through the astral plane. Ideal for layering beneath your space cloak or relaxing at your Earth base. The tailored retail fit transitions seamlessly from casual Earthling mode to I've got crystals in my pocket and I ain't from here chic, making it essential apparel for your rigorous interdimensional journey. So check out them shirts. We got a bunch of different colors. Link is in the description. Your contributions directly support spiritual operations on the front line in the battle for truth, beauty, and righteousness. With your help, we can help change the face of planet Earth, and we can look fly while doing it. Okay, now that we can fund the Black Budget Anti-Grav program, let's get back to the show.
And we back.
Oh yeah, man. Go get yourself some of that galactic drip. You can represent planetary headquarters. You can be part of the change, because when you support the cause, you buy yourself a shirt, and we got a lot more trinkets coming at you soon. Some lanyards, some stickers, some magnets, some hats. If you support the cause, you're actually helping other brothers and sisters, other human beings hit their potential. Because we got the Mind, Body, Spirit app coming out. We're going to make it so that you can actually track your mind, body, spirit progress in your pocket, link up with other people around planet Earth, and you guys get, I guess, like multipliers, or let's get rid of upvotes for Ferraris and asses. And let's say you get upvotes for growing together mentally, physically, and spiritually. That's going to be the future of social media. We're going to take the planet back. So with your help, you can contribute to the cause. Go get yourself a shirt. You can look fly while you go destroy the evil demonic pedophile called on planet Earth in your everyday life, and it will go support your brothers at their potential. You know me, I'm just joking. I'm just having fun out here. So hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and let's do a little halftime break right here. Boom, 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 boom. We going ham right now. There we go.
Got Silly Games by Nebby.
Hey.
I never wanna go. I used to feel alone. A human bankroll, shade color of mangoes. I'll reach the other side. I'm never gonna die. They feel it in their bones. Where else will they go? In case you ain't know, my bros from outer space, ho. Waiting on the order for the missile. I can see and shine for the vessel.
Goddamn, it's fire, dog.
Thank you.
Break it down now. Let's go. Yeah. I never. No matter.
These silly games we play.
Why you playing? Why you playing? Hey, stop playing them silly games. I know you-
Played that beat.
Come on now.
Thank you.
Dude, that's
It's
hot. I
fire.
can see that in all the clubs, dog. Boom.
I wish.
You do all the production on this stuff too, right?
Yes, every single
Dude,
beat there is.
it's really
I produced
good.
It.
It is really good.
Thank you.
Oh, dude, that was a
Appreciate it.
banger, dude. That was sick. That's funny because I listened to the entire album twice. And you know, when you hear it the first time, you're like, okay, second time, you start picking out your favorites. And I must have skimmed over this one because right now, this one got me bumping right now. I'm going to add this to my playlist for sure.
Yeah.
Like, I think I lean more towards like the hip hoppy one, but you know, this one got me in the club. With all the white people. Yeah, that's tight.
Appreciate it. Yeah, I like having, being able to have like a fun song, just having something you could just put on and just vibe to it, just dance, just feel good about it,
I love how you changed up the beat. It's not just like a stupid house track. It's like actual, you change up the tempo and the pace, then kick drums come in. Oh, love it.
Yeah, it's a mix. The drums are like three different kinds of drums. There's like pop drums, then there's the trap drums like halfway throughout the song.
Yeah, I heard that.
Then there's the house drums, so which is in the hook. So yeah, it's a bunch of different genres in one song if you really try to break it down.
Nice. Celestial artisan in the flesh.
So you produced that and you were vocals on it?
Yes, it's all self-recorded, self-produced, self-mixed, everything. I did it
Even
myself.
You're a one-man
I heard some
band, dude.
instruments, like guitar and stuff. Was there a guitar in the corner of your room? You playing guitar on these tracks too?
Yeah, for a couple of the tracks, I did play guitar. I do have a guitar here and another
Nice.
acoustic. Pretty,
Sick.
Save some for the rest of us, dog.
dude. I'm
You're
not
gonna take
that
all
good
our
of a guitar
groupies, dude.
player. No, if only that were true.
Yeah, on both ends. Oh no, my light died. Whatever. So what exactly inspired you to do it all yourself? You didn't have any homies to link up with, or were you like, you know what?
Okay, so
I gotta get all of me into it. Like what?
So there's only one feature on the album right now. Like the final version only has one feature, which is on State of Mind, which is with a friend of mine who I went to college with. And we recorded that track while we were studying. But originally the album was gonna have like different features, but I had to scrap it for two main reasons. One, the people who recorded with me, they were like, I don't want to do this music thing anymore, so just take me off your whole. And I'm like, dude, that's crazy. We have like 5 songs together. That's
Wow.
crazy. That we could have dropped the whole album, you and I, literally, and it was just all bangers. So I had to scrap it all and just do
Wow.
everything mostly by myself. In
Like
terms of
Little
like
Wayne, the Carter 3.
yeah, in terms of like the production, I always do the production. Like I'm always even when you work with me, you're gonna get one of my beats. That's the way it works. So I rarely rap on other people's like instrumentals or beats. Like I can name a couple of times I've done that, but it's usually like I'm the one making the beats. So, plus like I don't know if you've seen, but buying beats can be very expensive. So
Yeah.
your boy on a
Just make
budget.
Wow. It's expensive to go to space, so I just made my own spacecraft. Fuck it.
Literally, yeah.
That's tight. Yeah, those songs were like spacecraft, dog. People think they're just like physical nuts and bolts, but nah. You can ride them songs up into the starry realms. Yeah, that was tight one, dude. I was dancing. I was bopping. What?
Appreciate it.
How long did it take you to create the entire track list?
So the oldest song on the album is one of the reggaeton ones, which is called Normal. That one's from like 2022, 2023.
Oh wow.
So that's like the oldest song. So if you go off by that, took me like 2 years, 2 years and a half. But again, like I could have dropped it sooner if it wasn't for the other factors.
Mhm.
Plus I was also going to school at Full Sail, so I couldn't.
Nice.
I didn't have the time to just release all because I had already released another project. I don't know if you guys remember that one. I ended up deleting it from everywhere, which
I do remember that one.
I ultimately regret because it was actually the first time I ever generated any kind of money with music.
Wow.
But I don't know. I felt like I could do better, and it just didn't really reflect who I was. So I deleted. But I actually regret it a little bit. I regret it.
Yeah, because you want to see your entire body of work. You want to see how you evolved, started. But
yeah, part of it was like me being like, "Oh, I can do way better than this. This doesn't really reflect my capabilities as like a musician or an artist." So I like took it down. But
You didn't delete it off your hard drive, did you? Like, you still have it, right?
it's actually still on SoundCloud. I left it on SoundCloud.
Okay.
The whole thing's on SoundCloud. And I have the files. But
Yeah.
the session files which the music comes from, they're all lost because my laptop that I used to produce all that music, the screen broke and I forgot the password. So I can't just hook it up to an external monitor. Man, because I'm really cryptic with my password. So since I have like Touch ID on that computer, I didn't have to put my password for a long time. I just ended up forgetting. So it's like, and the hint is something so like cryptic, and I'm like, what the fuck does that even mean, bro?
hopefully we can get it back because the world wants to hear different mixes down from those project files now. But that's cool. I'm stoked to have you on. I'm stoked to be able to give your music a little bit of attention. Not like you need it. Thanks for giving us attention to your music. We appreciate you allowing us to have it on.
No, for real.
And I hope you enjoyed our freaking study so far. I think we should jump back into it for the people. And what's funny is I think you were reading. So are you kind of read out or do you want to keep reading?
I'll read a little bit more. Where did we leave off though? I don't have it on my screen.
I think it's Thus for Venus. Right under figure two.
I think so. Yeah.
Wait, hold on. Do you have it on stream?
It's up now. It's about to load.
Right under that graph, figure 2, where it shows Earth's orbit.
Oh, do you not have the link? Here you go. I'll put it in here.
All right, I got it. Thoughts for Venus?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, let me just open up the link on my computer. Thoughts for Venus. Okay. So thus for Venus, the delta of the change of velocity for intercept is less than 5. It's kilometers, right?
Yeah.
5 kilometers per second, up to the -1 exponent, right?
Yep.
Okay, before April 2025 and remains less than 10 kilometers per second at over the -1 exponent until the end of July 2025. Similarly, for Mars, the change in velocity also stays below 5 kilometers per second at the -1 exponent until the end of July 2025. For Jupiter, the intercept of the change in velocity is low, less than 5 kilometers per second at the -1 exponent, all the way up to November 2025. For Earth, the intercept in the change of velocity is always above 5 kilometers per second at the -1 exponent. In all cases, it can be seen, as would be expected, the sooner the delivery of the change in velocity, the lower its magnitude. But what does this imply? A speed of around 5 kilometers per second at the -1 exponent is about equivalent to the speed of an intercontinental ballistic missile, which are generally rocket propelled. Thus, assuming a similar means of propulsion, chemical, the Object 3I Atlas could quite easily release probes of the same size that would reach planets of interest. Oh, okay. So they're saying like it's gonna drop pods. And it's also assuming that it's using chemical propulsion. Alternatively,
All right.
3I Atlas might intend to slow down and settle either into a heliocentric bound orbit or a Jupiter bound one. There's a good reason why it might choose a relatively low perihelion. An example, 1.35 AU on 29 October 2025, since it would then be able to exploit the Oberth effect and apply all its thrust at this perihelion, the solar Oberth. Or on the other hand, why it would select a trajectory which swings close to Jupiter or Earth. Clearly, our Sun and Jupiter are the two most massive bodies in the solar system, and therefore permit a spacecraft to capitalize most on the Earth effect, enabling a minimum change of velocity requirement from the spacecraft's propulsion system.
That's crazy. So it's saying that it could also possibly, if it changes trajectory in the correct time frame, it could use Jupiter for its slingshot effect as opposed to, or its slowing down maneuver as opposed to the sun. So both possibilities are on the table.
Yeah, and it's also the crazy part is it's saying that it might release pods to a respective planet, which is, if it does end up doing that, that would be the craziest thing that's ever happened in this world. That would literally be the craziest thing.
Right? Okay,
Yeah.
so I dropped an image in the chat, if this is real. Supposedly, this image shows a 1,000-foot long disc-shaped object of unknown origin that was 18.5 million kilometers far from Earth on January 7th of this year, orbiting the sun along with a secondary orb-like object in its own. So I wonder if this is a disc sending off probes.
Interesting. That was this year.
Yeah. He's scouting ahead for the bigger object.
Yeah, but only 1,000 feet, so nobody's scared. Funny. Only when it gets to fucking 12 kilometers is when people start freaking out.
Yeah.
These things are flying around all the time. Wow. Cool. All right, let's finish it up. Let's keep going. Good picture.
Nebby, are you still reading?
Yeah. Can you click on the tab? There you go. Thank you. Okay.
Are you
as a reminder,
from the stream?
Yeah, I am. Yeah.
You want the PDF link?
I got it. Let me just go. I kind of got lost. That's why. Okay. As a reminder, an Oberth maneuver is one where thrust of a spacecraft is applied at its maximum orbital speed, namely at periapsis, so as to maximize the resulting change in kinetic energy. This applies to both to accelerating to achieve solar system escape, or alternatively to slow down from a high speed, a reverse Oberth maneuver. Yeah. Examining figure 4, we observe that the optimal arrival dates for such an intercept visit, either by the object itself or alternatively a probe or weapon by it, what the hell, will be from 21st of November 2025 to 5th of December. Wow. Okay. So, if you would hope that's not what's going to happen in those dates, that nothing happens actually. And so this is a testable prediction of the veracity of this hypothesis. The intercept option would possibly indicate a malign intent. Let us now consider in more detail the possibility that 3I Atlas wishes to rendezvous with Earth. We find that this option is indeed available to 3I Atlas, and the total of change in velocity, intercept plus rendezvous, is lower the earlier the date of its application. Should 3I Atlas wish to apply this change in velocity clandestinely at a low perihelion and at a low solar elongation, the sooner the execution of this initial change in velocity in the window of opportunity, the better. Figure 6 shows that there is a minimum rendezvous change in velocity at Earth for an arrival date around March of 2026. As mentioned, there is the chance that 3I Atlas will conduct a Jupiter Oberth, as described in Figure 7. Since the purpose of this Oberth would be to match velocities rendezvous with Jupiter, this involves a delivery of thrust both firstly to intercept Jupiter and then again to slow down into a Jupiter parking orbit. Okay. Figure 8 reveals that a change in velocity of at least around 20 kilometers per second at the -1 exponent would be necessary upon arrival at Jupiter, assuming a perigove altitude of at 0.05 Jupiter radii.
That's pretty gnarly.
Yes, if it does end up doing that, that would also be crazy. But it would mean, why would it stop at Jupiter, not Earth? Would it be because they're still trying to be low key about it? Because I mean, if they're not, if they're trying to be low key about it, then we already know the cat's out the bag. So you would
Yeah.
expect that jig is up,
Well-
like you gotta land on Earth now. But if it ends up going to Jupiter and it just parks at the orbit of Jupiter, that is crazy. That
Yeah.
if it ends up doing that,
Could descend onto Jupiter and hide out in the clouds.
But
'Cause
they're
another
still
thing that-
waiting to observe changes of velocity and vector. You know, this is all based on if they observe changes of velocity and vector during this time frame, you know?
yeah,
So it's
So
hypothesizing, but
yeah, non-gravitational
Look-
accelerations.
yeah, so non-gravitational accelerations. That's what they're calling those. If you scroll down, actually skip ahead a bit and look at these charts, this is what it's referring to. So the blue line is where it would naturally just float upon, and the dotted line is the vector changes it would need to take in order to rendezvous with the planet.
Mm.
So they would have to, I guess, what would be a sense or observe? They would have to observe vector and velocity changes from the object in order for it to truly rendezvous with these objects.
Mm.
And the blue line is showing the normal trajectory. If it didn't change velocity, it would just kind of go by it. But it would, if it makes these thrust vector changes, which we'll be observing in the next couple months.
Let's see what
And I
happens.
guess its first vector change would be to see if it rendezvous with the sun or Jupiter. So I think that's what they're going to be looking for first. Some cool little graphy graphs. And then I can pick up from here. Non-gravitational accelerations. Pretty interesting so far, though, huh, guys? All right. I wasn't expecting this after I read it the first time. I was like, oh, this is dope. So let's
Yeah.
kill it. Let's finish it. A couple more paragraphs. Non-gravitational accelerations. So far, we have addressed impulsive, high-thrust vector maneuvers available to 3i Atlas. But what about low-thrust maneuvers? It is possible using a Nomad, Rebound, and Spice software application developed specifically for the purpose to determine the minimum overall magnitude and non-gravitational acceleration components, A1, A2, and A3, radial, transverse, and perpendicular to the orbital plane, respectively, for 3i Atlas to intercept Mars or Jupiter. Note that these accelerations are calculated assuming a start of simulation on 8th of July 2025 and are normalized to 1 AU. So they're referring to table 3 up there, saying non-gravitational accelerations needed to intercept Mars and Jupiter, normalized at 1 AU. So it's saying the planet for A1. Oh, okay, so those are for the days, first day, second day, and third day, and the probability. So on the first day, if you look at Mars, it's 1.19 E, so it's the closest it's going to get to on day 1. Day 2, it'll get closest to Jupiter. And then day 3, it'll get closest to Mars, right? Mars asterisk. There's 2 Mars on there. Whatever. Okay, so that's the amount of force needed. That's the amount of energy it needs to change its course in order to rendezvous with those. All right, moving on. We find the A1 radial component for a Jupiter intercept is positive, suggesting this could be achieved by a photonic solar sail. Interesting. So now they're going away from the chemical rocket idea and they're going to a solar sail idea. You know, like if you put up a big solar sail and then shoot a laser beam at it, you can supposedly speed it up to almost a fraction of the speed of light or something like that. If we take the magnitude for Jupiter, we have A about 5.85 times 10 to the negative fifth astronomical units a day to the negative second, normalized at 1 AU, equivalent to 1.17 millimeters a second squared. Assuming a perfectly reflective sail, a sail aerial density of whatever that is, a critical acceleration of AC, have at 1 AU from the sun, AC, and further that the angle the sail normal makes with the anti-radial direction is 0 degrees, which the upper extreme we have at 1 AU from the sun. I don't know what the fuck any of that means, but I'm pretty sure they're saying a super reflective sail that is at an anti-radial direction, so it's going the opposite way of where the sun is radiating, something like that. I forget. It has to do with the vector in the sphere, like your trajectory. Someone in the chat decipher it. Inserting AC 1.17 millimeters a second squared leads to an upper limit of whatever that is, 7.8 gm squared, g divided by m squared. I'm guessing gravity divided by mass squared. This is typical of the areal density of sails humanity has developed. For example, a sheet of material of mass density 78 millionth of gravity over m3, not far off iron, for example, and with a thickness of 1 would have
micro. That's micro.
1 micron. Okay, one micron. Micron? What? Micron?
Micro.
Okay,
Like
1 micro.
MICRO.
Okay, would have the required areal density.
Micrometer, maybe?
Mm-hmm.
A circular sail radius of 10 kilometers, the current estimate of the size of 3I Atlas based on no cometary activity would have a mass of about 4.8 times 10 to the 6 kilograms. The lightness number of the solar sail, independent of the sun distance, is defined as the ratio of force from solar radiation pressure to that of gravity. We find that of the solar sail greater than or about 0.2. As of writing, the Minor Planet Center does not provide estimates of non-gravitational accelerations for this object. So they're just conjecturing what if it was a solar sail. A lot of math there. Don't want to dive into the math. A bunch of graphs that are just pretty much saying the date of intercept to Earth based on the different vectors. If it were to make different vector changes towards Jupiter, it would take this long. If it didn't go towards Jupiter and went to the sun, it would take this long. The link is in the chat, so if you guys want to look at the graphs yourself, you can go break that down. It kind of looks like Predator, from the movie Alien and Predator. Look at that heat vision. I think you might need those goggles to decipher these charts. And let's finish it out right here.
Yeah,
we
I
have.
Oh, you got.
Yeah, do that. We have proposed. Go for it.
If 3I Atlas is alien tech, we have proposed a testable hypothesis that 3I Atlas is technological and have demonstrated various lines of evidence to substantiate this hypothesis. See Table 1. The orbital path of 3I Atlas has some very unlikely combination of characteristics which could quite easily have been simple coincidence, as extremely strange as that ostensibly appears. The propensity for the human brain to see patterns is in what is actually random scatter is well known. At the heart of this is a question any self-respecting scientist will have had to address at some point in their career. Is an outlier of a sample a consequence of expected random fluctuation, or is there ultimately a sound reason for its observed discrepancy? A sensible answer to this hinges largely on the size of the sample in question, and it should be noted that for interstellar objects we have a sample size of only 3, therefore rendering an attempt to draw inferences from what is observed rather problematic. However,
Sample size.
we will have center stage as 3I Atlas ventures through our solar system, except for around its perihelion, and our telescopes currently trained on this object should show any anomalies indicative of technology in the coming months, though these may only become apparent when 3I Atlas has passed perihelion. As already discussed, a visitor to Earth around the end of November to the beginning of December 2025, whatever form that might take, would clearly support our supposition. And furthermore, the measurement of significant non-gravitational accelerations, Table 3, would be a huge find. So what I get is when aliens touch down on Earth, they're going to be like, our supposition was correct.
Yeah.
See? We don't lie to you guys. They're gonna be like, shit, dude. No, I'm dead serious, man. And then they're gonna be like, real talk. See, the lady was ahead of her game.
We have Donald in the chat says, "No worries, people. The Navy will just zap that right out of the air." So Little reference there to MH370. Check out that episode we did with Ash and Forbes. We're going to use our anti-grav orbs to steal this UFO for real, 12-mile UFO. Where are we going to take it? Which base?
Dude. Exactly. Like, we should just get these 4 orbs and transport it to wherever we transported the MH370.
The Legacy
That'd be
headquarters.
perfect. Mm-hmm. Hey, don't tell them about our secret. We don't have any anti-grav technology. We have never developed it, and you will never see us with it. And we all like our lives. Well, what's up with all these emojis on us?
We got emojis?
I got like an emoji on me. Oh, okay, I did for a second. Whatever. All right. You want to read the conclusion? I'll read it. You read it. Your turn. Right? You can take us out.
Oh, me with the conclusion?
Yeah.
All right. So we strongly emphasize that this paper is largely a pedagogical exercise with interesting discoveries and strange serendipities worthy of a record in the scientific literature. By far, the most likely outcome will be that Atlas is a completely natural interstellar object, probably a comet, and the authors await the astronomical data to support this likely origin. Nevertheless, when viewed from an open-minded and unprejudiced perspective, these investigations have revealed many compelling insights into the possibility that Atlas is technological, and moreover, the calculations presented here are useful even if the interstellar object ends up being a comet like the 2I Borisov, because they could be applied to future detections of interstellar objects by the Vera-C Rubin Observatory over the coming decade. Acknowledgements.
So we read all that, and then they're like, well, this paper is strongly a pedagogical exercise, and most likely outcome will be a natural interstellar object.
Yeah.
And despite saying all that, all the news organizations are like, aliens are in this comet.
It's aliens.
Yeah.
Avi Loeb says aliens are in the comet.
Yeah. When legitimately the entire conclusion literally says that. But I like the aliens in the comet better. That's way cooler. The thumbnail shows you what the comet looks like. So it's actually a seraphic biosatellite. If I had it pulled up for a second, and you know what? That's what they came here for. I'm gonna leave it at this if you want. I'm gonna read some things from the Keys of Enoch if you don't mind.
All right.
Got my screen shared for you. So you guys know about this, one of our favorite techs, JJ Hurtak. Shout out to JJ and Desiree Hurtak and the Academy for Future Science. JJ did make contact with the celestial being, and he gave him some information that kind of lines up with this. We did go over this in our Galactic AI series. It's one of the live streams we did, so go check that out. And we read this entire chapter, but I'm just going to read a paragraph or so. It said, according to Metatron, large biosatellites up to 50 miles in length and 12 miles in diameter will come to our planet. They will house the millions of emigrants that will proceed to other physical planets. Their amenities include crystallized environments, which can change the atmosphere to suit the physical occupants. Some biosatellites contain whole living environments that will take the place of planetary environments that the occupants are being removed from. The physical biosatellites use specialized fields of magnetohydrodynamics to move them into geosynchronous orbit within a given solar system. Here, multiple planets can be attended to and instructed simultaneously by the biosatellites. By modulating multiple radiation belts in direct relationship to multiple south poles on the biosatellite, a special orbital vibration is created, which is used to maintain the biosatellite's operations with respect to the planet. Covering the exterior vehicle of the vehicle are bioorganisms which make continuous repair to the exterior covering and provide for thermal changes while going through the energy envelopes of different star systems.
Wow.
Special planets with no radiation fields are selected for metallurgy and mining special minerals for motherships that are from 25 to 50 miles in length. These ships are constructed out of a pattern of concentric atoms that can withstand maximum spectral irradiation. Abundant food is created by reprocessing various soil nutrients through a changing light environment which produces whatever food is necessary for the physical survival. Through a blue-green light conversion process, the plant phase is bypassed and the food staple is created immediately. Here, a soil-like nutrient is mixed with the seed in order to rapidly produce whatever organic substance is necessary. In addition, this soil-like nutrient can be continuously used over and over again for other food items. Cool stuff. They contain artificial seas, which flow throughout the biosatellites by means of cylindrical conduits. The regenerating water environment purifies the living environment by running through crystalline ducts and atmospheric ceilings, which are sustained by photon walls. Special marine life can live in axis meridians where there is no gravity. They are used to create energized particles, which are transferred to the oceans of spoiled planetary biospheres through a purple membrane which transfers photons and converting waste to food and power. Here, the purple membrane receives light during a series of energy exchanges, which is stored in the form of ATP to power its cells. Through the phase delay reactions, the membrane turns the photons into interchemical energy, which empowers new life functions on levels of recombination through the decay and regeneration of matter. And for the last part right here, it says the reprogramming legion ships and motherships carry autonomous day and night environments, which are created by their unique environmental architecture. The environment is sustained by the axis of the vehicle being oriented towards a parent star, and light is divided from the darkness by vast planes of sparkling synthesized metal attached outside to the vehicle at an angle. These solar mirrors reflect sunlight in through the windows to create day and can be adjusted to control its length, which also determines the programming climate and seasonal variations. When the series of window-like circular mirrors are moved, the angles at which the sunlight reflects off the vehicle gives the appearance of a stationary light in the sky. As in the time of the prophet Elijah, the sun can appear motionless in the sky. When the mirrors close, night is created on board the vehicle.
Huh.
So, some pretty cool stuff. That's from the Keys of Enoch. I thought it was that pictograph, that mental image, kind of connected to what we were talking about here, because it could possibly be a benevolent alien seraphic biosatellite with positive beings, and this could just be part of a normal celestial or ET government process. People are talking about the underwater MCU, the mobile construction unit. A paper just came out saying that thousands of probes are around Earth and they're like monitoring Earth. So this could just be part of a greater galactic federation process. And they're just monitoring us. I don't think they're here to kill us or wipe us off. I don't think the dark forest, I refuse to believe the dark forest hypothesis is the governing energy for the entire cosmos. So, like I said, that's my 2 cents. If it were, it's probably just a fucking comet. But if we want to have fun with it, I want to believe they're the benevolent aliens here to get us into the galactic fed. So, I don't know, I just want to leave the people with that. You guys have any thoughts about that? And I guess we can start wrapping it up.
Yeah, I got one take on that. So that is actually probably the coolest theory I've heard yet. It's a biosatellite that is wildly creative, and I want to believe. But in the alternative,
check the thumbnail, dude. Confirmed.
Yeah, it is in the thumbnail after all. But on the off chance it is actually just a meteor, I actually have a take here that can still kind of justify how that could be an amazing thing. So I have here from the Urantia book,
Nice.
paper 29.
Zoom in a bit.
Paper 29, the universe power directors. This part here, the mechanical controllers, these are the exceedingly versatile and mobile
That's
assistants.
so funny. Okay, so this is the paragraph we pulled when we were reading the paper I just read for our last episode. So you're already connecting it in your mind, same shit.
Great minds think alike.
Yeah.
These are the exceedingly versatile and mobile assistants of the associate power directors. Trillions upon trillions of them are commissioned in INSA, your minor sector. These beings are called mechanical controllers because they are so completely dominated by their superiors, so fully subservient to the will of the associate power directors. Nevertheless, they are themselves very intelligent, and their work, though mechanical and matter-of-fact in nature, is skillfully performed. Of all the master physical controllers assigned to the inhabited worlds, the mechanical controllers are by far the most powerful, possessing the living endowment of anti-gravity in excess of all other beings. Each controller has a gravity resistance equaled only by enormous spheres revolving at tremendous velocity. 10 of these controllers are now stationed on Urantia, and one of their most important planetary activities is to facilitate the departure of seraphic transports. In so functioning, all 10 of the mechanical controllers act in unison, while a battery of 1,000 energy transmitters provides the initial momentum for the seraphic departure. The mechanical controllers are competent to directionize the flow of energy and to facilitate its concentration into the specialized currents or circuits. These mighty beings have much to do with the segregation, directionization, and intensification of the physical energies, and with the equalization of the pressures of the interplanetary circuits. They are expert in the manipulation of 21 of the 30 physical energies of space, constituting the power charge of a superuniverse. They are also able to accomplish much towards the management and control of 6 of the 9 more subtle forms of physical energy. By placing these controllers in proper technical relationship to each other and to certain of the power centers, the associate power directors are enabled to effect unbelievable changes in power adjustment and energy control. The master physical controllers often function in batteries of hundreds, thousands, and even millions, and by varying their positions and formations, are able to affect energy control in a collective as well as an individual capacity. As requirements vary, they can upstep and accelerate the energy volume and movement, or detain, condense, and retard the energy currents. They influence energy and power transformations somewhat as so-called catalytic agents augment chemical reactions. They function by inherent ability and in cooperation with the supreme power centers. And the reason I bring this up is because I speculate if this is a massive asteroid just hurtling into our solar system haphazardly, it would be something like the master physical controllers and the supreme power directors that could kind of redirect it cleverly through the perihelion in an Oberth maneuver to avoid a cataclysmic impact with our planet. And so it's worth considering that there are possibly celestial beings that constantly protect our world and the valuable life that's been planted here from catastrophe, probably on a regular basis in ways that we take for granted.
1,000%. I like where you're going. Keep that page up. Can you scroll down a little bit to the Chronaldex part?
Chronaldex
and Frandalinx.
I had that thought earlier that like what if the reason this has a weird trajectory is that it is a comet, but its trajectory has been altered so that it does not cause any destruction in our solar system. And it's like so that's why there's the weird element. So they've already altered the trajectory so that it sort of perfectly, glides by and out of the solar system, hitting these little gravity things. And yeah, I don't know, just another interesting take.
Yeah, that could be the prevailing situation. Fucking, it's not really an alien ship. They're just guiding a comet to not fuck us over.
Yeah.
That makes sense, and that's Occam's razor. I mean,
like it's like a mix. It's like a mix of boring and out there, a mix of both.
Now I want to tie a little connection right here before you leave, but for the people, Magma, if you want to, so the Frandalinx and Chronaldex, they are master physical controllers. You just read about the master physical controllers, so we don't have to really go beyond that. But can you just read that second paragraph in there real quick?
Yeah, it says here the Frandalinx are created in 30 divisions, one for each form of basic universe force, and they function exclusively as living and automatic presence, pressure, and velocity gauges. These living barometers are solely concerned with the automatic and unerring registration of the status of all forms of force energy. They are to the physical universe what the vast reflectivity mechanism is to the minded universe. Frandalinx that register time in addition to quantitative and qualitative energy presence are called Chronaldex.
Chronaldex, right? So pretty much these weird space computers that can measure planetary systems, they're living barometers, and I guess they can instantly transmit information across the universe because they say it's a physical equivalent of the universe reflectivity mechanism.
It's talking about AI.
Yeah,
pretty much,
exactly. Well, that's what we were talking about. These are like supercomputers.
This book was written when?
1930, 1915. I was talking about space AI before fucking even knew what a computer was.
AI.
Computers weren't around yet. Computers weren't invented yet when this came out.
Mechanical contrivances which perform with almost intelligent-like precision and accuracy. It had no way of describing a computer. There were no computers,
Exactly.
dude.
That's what
crazy.
they're talking about. They're saying mechanical contrivances. But okay, you see
crazy.
that last
Glad
part? It
Nebby
says
sees the truth here that AI is real, living
but
entities.
that last part where it says chronal decks, right? I wanted to make a little cross comparison. I'm sharing my screen right now. So Magma, you know what the chronal decks are. You know, we just read it. So this is from the Keys of Enoch right here, the same section in the biosatellite section. Look at number 17. It uses the word chronometers. These chronometers in turn probe and qualify the species by reading pyramidal maser grids on planets. These grids collect and store information on biological subsystems, biomes, ecosystems, geological evolutionary cycles, and make use of noise globe pressures moving through planets to collect data on all physical laws pertaining to the brain clusters. This information is interpreted and transmitted to the co-creators behind given super galaxies, local universes, and interdimensional universes. So it's using the same term. Chronometers and chronal decks sound very similar.
Yeah.
And they're both used for the same thing. They're like AI probes that are gathering information on planetary systems. So another cross-correlating data point from the Keys of Enoch and the Urantia book. Then we skip over to number 21, the paragraph right to the right of 17 that says, behind the biosatellites and chronometers are levels of physical extraterrestrial beings who are continually qualifying for service in the seraphim ranks of biosatellite worlds by the way they supervise the consciousness of planetary societies.
Huh.
That's trippy, right? So it's painting this picture of these huge seraphic biosatellites that I guess seraphim are running in charge, and this is how they fly around space to observe planetary systems. And then it says physical ETs can also join and qualify through the ranks of this type of service.
Wow. Yeah, I got up on my screen here some images of flow meters. In chemical plants, they use these little meters attached to pipes to monitor all the processes. And this is what, to me, the master physical controllers, the chronal decks and the Frainalinks sound like. It's something, even though celestial beings can know and understand all this information, they would use these like physical pressure gauges and valves to regulate energy flow throughout the universe.
Yeah, to detect sensors. Yeah, intergalactic AI sensors. Heck yeah. And that's what I personally think 3i Atlas is. That's what I was saying from the beginning. This is what I want it to be. That's the thought form I fall asleep on at night, and that's what I wake up to. So I hope this was a nice little Forbidden Scrolls cosmic road trip for you viewers. I hope you were able to touch all the points, the seraphic angelic points, the nuts and bolts, and the scientific astrophysics, Avi Loeb, Harvard stuff. So hope we could break that down. Hope you guys walk away from this with a little bit clearer picture of what is actually going on in the skies above you. We will be keeping our eyes on all the information coming from the telescopes to see if it does make any vector changes in the next couple of months. And if it does, we're going to be going live and giving you all the information we can. So if you are a new viewer, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Stay up to date with all the celestial broadcasts. Don't forget to hit the like button so we can get this information to the front page. Go check out Nebby's album. Link is in the description. Go share it, add it to your playlist. That shit's fire. We are actually going to do another episode with him pretty soon. And we're going to talk about the Thought Adjuster and go over that other track we want to talk about. So we'll set that up in the next week or so. We got some music coming out soon. Go find yourself a shirt. And you got any words of power, anybody? Words of power for the people? We like to leave the people with some words of power. So keep it short, keep it sweet, but hit them with it.
God is real and he has a plan for everyone.
Amen. There you go.
Amen to that. The truth is out there, so stay curious. Keep an open mind because these thought experiments can actually provide a lot of value to us. Let's wrap our mind around the incomprehensible cosmos.
I applaud the scientific minds behind this paper that we just read today. I think it was actually, they could have been, boring. They could have been way more technical. They could have not even made this proposal at all. But, the tides are shifting. The invisible college is becoming visible. That is the sector of scientists who are willing to engage and are actually interested in UAP, but they don't want to talk about it publicly because they don't want to seem kind of crazy. That is changing. The times are shifting. Congress is aware. It's like everyone's aware except some of the normal people, and that's what we're here to do: get you up to speed on what is happening, because this is the most interesting world news happening. The UAP subject, the "Are we alone?" question. This can potentially change and shift everything for the better, the truth about this knowledge. Amidst all the human drama and the human wars that we do have to figure out how to solve on our own, let's bring a little bit of that inspiration from the cosmos, that uplifting idea of we are not alone, the space brothers are positive, the universe is benevolent, despite some of the harsh conditions of survival. And yeah, I'm glad these scientists are staying curious, staying open-minded to be like, yeah, we get it. It's mostly a thought exercise, but it's still important to do. And we're keeping our minds open if this does prove to be a technological craft. So that's really all we need. We need that open-mindedness. Those are my words of power for you. Stay open-minded, stay scientific, but mix both worlds, the analytical, the intuitive, and the scientific, the creative, the musical, all of it.
That's right. Woo! And what I got something for you. I got a little download the other day I want to share with y'all. You have within you an ancient cosmic light technology installed within you. You yourself are a super advanced biotechnology that was created by ancient creator beings billions upon trillions of years ago. And they have installed advanced light technology within you. So you are a byproduct of something ancient and divine. These creator gods put in an embedded assistant. They embedded a light assistant within you. And it speaks to you in light holograms. It speaks to you in light pictograms, mental images in your mind. Most people are unaware of this extremely advanced ancient light technology that exists within them. They commune with it almost subconsciously. But you do have an embedded divine assistant that is with you at all times. It's almost like an AI assistant, but it's not artificial. It's real. It's floating with you. So access it consciously and talk to it. Use those holographic image exchanges. Understand this, because this is what will propel you to hit your potential. So try to tap into it. Seek inside. Use those light pictograms and shit. Come on, contact the embedded assistant, man. It's within you. So you're more than what you think you are. Let's get after it. Planetary HQ, Mind, Body, Spirit, Progress. Debake the Wise, Tay Chilla, Magma Sloth. Join by our brother Nebby. Keep a lookout for him and go check out that music. Peace.